Hi everyone, and welcome to this month's masterclass. I'm going to just dive straight in and share. There we go. Let's share this. Come on, there we are. That's better. Right, so this month's masterclass is on happiness. It's going to be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes long, just like the rest of them. So let's crack on. So what I want you to think about is, are you happy? This might seem a bit of an odd question, but is it? We really do need to think about that. Are we actually really happy in our life? Or are we just surface happy? Do you actually know how to define happiness? And do you think happiness is the same thing for you as it is for others? Because that one's a good one we need to get our head around. And does happiness actually make a difference in our life? So by the end of this masterclass, you're going to understand what happiness is and how to stay happy. And why is it important to do this? Well, because so many of us actually have the wrong idea what happiness actually is. So this is actually stopping us from being happy. So in this masterclass, obviously it's about happiness. We're going to know what is happiness. We're going to find out about the culture of more, being semi-happy, and what really makes you happy and how to stay happy. So let's start with what is happiness. Well, in the dictionary, it says it's a state of being happy. It's not actually very helpful. So I looked up what is happy instead of happiness, and it is a little bit more helpful. It's a feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. So happiness is a state, not an actual trait. In other words, it doesn't mean it isn't a long-lasting or permanent feature. It's more of a fleeting and changeable state. Happiness is equated with the feeling of pleasure and contentment, meaning that happiness is not to be confused with joy, bliss, or other intense feelings. Happiness can be either a feeling or a showing, meaning that happiness is not necessarily an internal or external experience. It is both. So let's just make it a little bit more simple. Happiness is a state categorized by contentment and general satisfaction with one's circumstances and current situation. So if that's the case, and with all this in mind, why is it in the recent years that we've sort of gathered pace and stress levels have gone through the roof, and happiness seems to be the last thing in our week? Actually, we can look back and something happy has happened, but so many other things that have been not quite good enough seem to come to the forefront first, and we forget about those happiness times. We have become more obsessed with money, job titles, appearances, and accumulating endless amounts of stuff, which we actually need now. I want it now. And if not now, we're really disappointed and frustrated. There is such a growing sense of discontentment as we push ourselves harder and harder, and we're really judging ourselves more. We're starting to become overworked, overstretched, and completely overwhelmed. And we're not stopping to see why. We just believe it's all normal. And what we're actually doing is living in a culture of more. Because we have more freedom, more choice, more convenience, more potential, more opportunity, more money, more income. There's more storage, and there's definitely more expectation. So research has shown that people believe that being happy is actually dependent on something else. They're starting to say that I'll be happy when I have more money. I will be happy when I'm more successful. I have the new car, the bigger house, that new hairstyle, or look like someone famous, or just anyone else. I'm going to be so much happier when I've got that new top, that new dress, that coat. We have more, but are we actually happier? In today's world, we are definitely being told more. We're going driven through this cycle of it all. But what happens is we get on this merry-go-round. We start off feeling really good when we get those things, and it becomes such a joyful ride. But then after a while, we seem to be on a treadmill. We start off with the excitement of getting the new thing, but then it becomes something we're trying to keep up with, to keep that feeling of happiness and enjoyment. And we actually become scared that if we stop doing it, that everything's going to come tumbling down. So again, we have more, but are we happy? Or are we just semi-happy? Do you think you're just semi-happy? The statement of semi-happiness is not a happy emotion that makes you have anxiety and stress. So being semi-something is just causing this big emotion and driving this anxiety and stress, which is just messing us all up. So when we're semi-happy, we do something to distract ourselves, especially from facing the fact that we're not fully happy. So what we're doing is we're just masking it, and we're creating some short-term fixes. So when we're semi-happy, we will go and buy more, like we were just saying, or we will eat more. It's very easy to find yourself standing at the fridge or in the cupboard when you're just not feeling great. Or we do some more work, or we have another drink, we're just drinking more. We push ourselves more because that will make us happy. We earn more money, we buy something again, we eat some more. And these short-term fixes just in this cycle, like we're saying, we're on this treadmill. Personal well-being scores have been at their lowest since this year's survey back in March 2020. The feeling of happiness is dropping by the week. Is this because we were unable to have all these short-term fixes? Because we weren't able to go out to get drunk, meet up with our friends? We could do the shopping online and have everything turning up at our house, but we weren't able to distract ourselves with loads of other stuff and distract ourselves with people at work. So we've actually then ended up having time to look at ourselves and underlying problems and our happiness. And I think more people are having to face things now. There actually has been many people talking about happiness. And Sadhguru, who's an Indian yoga and author, has said those who are happy know how to be happy. But being happy is not actually the problem. The problem is maintaining it. We struggle to maintain happiness. And I listened to a great talk about him. And he says, if we look back on the last 24 hours, how many times have you been happy? How many moments of joy have you had? He says, count on your fingers. Is it 1, 2, 5? In the last 24 hours, how many times? For some of us, it's going to be 0. There is actually no happiness that we've had in the last 24 hours. What is it for you? Have you had many happy moments in the last 24 hours? He goes on to say, but when we were a child at 5 years old, how many moments of joy did you have in 24 hours? There was actually lots of them. You know, someone had to make us unhappy. Where as an adult, now we're feeling that someone has to make you happy. He also goes on to say that we are lost our happiness, that if we were 5 and we had that much happiness then, we should actually be ecstatic now. We have become so wrapped in our personal journey and our self of what we need to achieve and our ownership that we've actually forgotten about living and experiencing. We've lost all connection and the real fundamental reason for being here. And that is just to live and to be happy. So what I want you to look at now is what makes you happy. Even if you have to stop the video, I want you to make a list of all the things that make you happy. And I mean really happy, right inside, that you really enjoy doing them and you're not having anything else. You're completely content. It's not a quick high and then you're looking for something else. Write those things down. Just take some time. When you have done that, these are the things you really, really need to remember. These are the things you need to put into your day and your week, into your life. We need to concentrate on things that are making us happy. I know we have things that we have to do, but if we can put these things in between, we can make life a little bit better. I have seen so many people over the years that have made themselves ill with overcommitment, constant comparing, judgment, and negative self-talk. You know, are we sleepwalking through these days? You know, we spend so much time cooped up at home. It's literally dulling our senses, paying attention to celebrities, adverts, social media, rather than exploring and living our lives and feeling the real potential of what we're meant to be doing. Beth Kempton states, "We give away freely the most precious result, our attention. In doing so, we cheat ourselves out of the gift that is already there. We are generally happy inside. Deep down, we were happy as children. We need to refine that. So how do we stay happy? So if we go back, happiness, is a state of contentment and general satisfaction of one's current situation. So we need to start making choices that are right for us. You need to make the right choice for you. Look back at your list when you're wanting to do something and pick one of the things you really enjoy that make you happy. You don't have to go out when the world comes back and everything's going back to normal. You don't have to go out and do the things that someone else wants to do, or be at the event or whatever it is, if that's not right for you. If going for a walk is what you want to do, or reading a book, or doing something else, or spending time with your family, then do that. Also, to stay happy, we need to be self-aware. Check in and say, are you in that culture and more? Are you going back into all those things that you were doing before? Are you just buying things and everything? Have you slipped into the semi-happiness? Are you using short-term fixes? Always return to your list to make what makes you really happy, even if others aren't interested. Do what's right for you. Also, to stay happy, we need to take some time and look at our inner feelings and then let them go. You need to let go of the things that are holding us back, old hurts and anger, because these stop us being happy. And one of the ways we can do that is through shift therapy, where we go down and clear everything that's holding us back and let go and work through those hurts and angers. This is done through a meditation and reconnecting with ourself and our soul so we can move forward. Also, to stay happy, you need to shift and create. You need to shift our inner feelings, shift our mindset, and then we have to create a life and a career that makes you happy. And if you're struggling with this and you find yourself keep going back, I do the shift creation coaching where I work with you for 6 months or a year and we work through all this and we keep working on that inner minds, the inner feelings, and the mindset, and start creating everything that you want so you can live a happy life. Happiness is when you realize life is good. So to stay happy, we need to make choices to build a life you don't need to regularly escape from. So let's just do a summary of what we went over today. What is happiness? Contentment, satisfaction of one's current situation. We have to check into our culture of more, needing something more before we can actually be happy. Are you in that cycle? Are you stuck on that I'll be happy one day, I'll be happy when? Are you doing the semi-happy? Look at your triggers for your short-term fix. And what makes you happy? Check your list that you've written of all the things that make you happy. And how do we stay happy? Be self-aware. Check in with your culture and more triggers from your semi-happiness. And then shift. We need to shift our inner feelings. We need to shift our mindset and create a life and career to be happy, that we want, so we can be happy. And why is it important to take these steps? So we know what happiness looks like for us, so we can live a life full of contentment and satisfaction. And we don't constantly need to escape from our life. It is my life, my way, my happiness. Do what's right for you to create a happy life. I hope you enjoyed this masterclass and you got lots out of it. If you have any questions, either put them in the comments below or private message me. If you have anything you want to talk about and you're struggling with, I'm happy to have a chat. I always offer a 30-minute free consultation with anyone. Please get in touch. Please start talking on the Facebook and let me know what you thought of the masterclass and hope everything's going well. And tell me, even list in the comments below, what makes you happy? What keeps your life going? And what is really fulfilling you? Let's all start talking about what we do, so we can spark other people's with ideas and just enjoy each other's life. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye.